Oh no!
It's time for
Rod!
Josh!
Welcome to Murder Moose, episode 105. Hey, Rod,
What episode?
smile.
It is. Dude, I think I talked about it last week, but like the whole like smile campaign they were doing for like getting shit out there, like they were sending people, actors out behind like home plate at baseball games and just doing the creepy.
That's so good.
I did not hear about that, and
Yeah.
that is terrifying. I would have lost my mind.
But they were wearing
So-
big green smile shirts. But yeah,
There was a woman who was doing it specifically,
yes.
and she was just doing the creepy fucking smile, and you're just like, "Ugh,"
And in the background of like Good Morning America and stuff, just standing there.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
It was bonkers, man. It reminded me, like someone pointed out, they had done this. Fox had done the same years ago with Fringe, where they had the like the bald guys from the future, and they
Right.
put them like at American Idol and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's
was a lot.
funny.
but welcome, Kin, back to the shit show, Josh.
Continues
How's-
here.
Josh,
Woo!
Rod, thanks for having me.
We have some hot nudes, and this Kin came in prepared. She sent nudes, and not those kind of nudes. NOODS. If you're listening to this
Yeah.
audio,
No, she was like, wait a second. You had who on last week? Well, I better come on and get that. She's like, you can't be breaking records. I'm here to break those records.
breaking all the records.
Here.
All the records. So how the fuck are you guys? I had a fucking day from hell, and mostly because of work being stupid. But like, how the fuck are you?
Fabulous. I built huge fire this weekend. We're cleaning out our basement finally, and I had a bonfire that was like 12 to 15 feet tall, a little bit maybe like 20, and then I finally kept it at a roaring 10 feet tall. It was
Yeah.
great. It was raining, but I kept that shit going.
You,
And
you,
yeah,
you
That's
could have
fun.
cooked. You could have cooked Nicolas Cage on that thing in a giant wicker man, and it'd been.
oh my God, I haven't thought of Wicker Man in forever.
It's so
That
good.
movie is so terrible, and I love it. But like, just because Nicolas Cage in a bear suit punching a lady randomly is just like the most insane thing ever.
Doesn't he
But,
like
between?
drop kick a kid in the face too? Like,
I don't think so. He just punches a woman in
Don't.
the face as a bear in a bear costume.
I just know that every time I hear Nicolas Cage, I think of this time that we were in the Bahamas and the guy on the boat was like, and this home belongs to no one other than Nicolas Cage. And like every time we got close, he would do it.
And
That's
you
awesome.
wonder, you wonder why the man
That's-
lost all his money. And
that is the
Yeah.
only way you present Nicolas Cage's house. He does
Nicolas
it.
Cage.
He does it every time because that's
Yeah.
the only thing you're allowed to do when you talk about Nicolas Cage's house.
it reminds me of like it was like Sean Connery presenting something like
Yes.
your lord, your high lord, Sir Sean, or God Connery. Why am I like just blowing out his middle name? I couldn't think of his middle name for all of a sudden, and here we are.
Oh
Don't mind
wait,
me, people.
Rod, did you know
What?
something? We're part of the Slash and Cast podcast network. It's in the game.
It's in the game. Yeah, I knew about that, Josh. Well, you know, we should actually do something for their Halloween presentation this year. We've
What,
been
like-
0 for 2 so far, and you record segments and then they broadcast them. So
Well, let's do it. Let's do our
Let's
own
do
like smile thing where it's just like, hey, Rod,
I s-
smile.
and Ken is gonna have nightmares now.
Ah! Ah! I love it. Okay. So I have been eagerly anticipating this movie because the first time I saw the trailer for it, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? And then, the premise comes and I was like, but in the trailer, when that head sweeps down, I was like, it caught me so off guard that I was like, I cannot fucking wait to see this. Like, there hasn't been a movie or a trailer in so long to like get a rise out of me and like really fucking catch me off guard. So I had some fun with this poster. I love it. I think like it's creepy and it does the right thing for this movie. It's got the creepy value.
I
It's
love the background.
yeah, the like really creepy big smile face.
Yeah.
I
It-
okay, just because I know there's like I ended up seeing this by myself, like was busy doing a bike ride, went ate dinner in the theater by myself, and there's like the back row filled with like teenagers. I was like so annoyed because they were just having conversations, and so I moved up, and then more people were. I was like, "What the fuck is this theater? Why is no one watching the movie?" It was annoying for the first little bit, but like as soon as the scares started happening, in which this movie has a fuck ton of jump scares, like take a ton, there's a fuck ton. It's The Ring meets It Follows, and then jump scares like crazy. But I really enjoyed it, and the score was like it was so unsettling, mixed with the like upside down and really in your face camera work. It really made you feel like you were on the journey of losing your mind with the main character, and like every you know it's very I've seen this before feeling because of the whole The Ring thing, because it follows almost the exact same like premise, and then she has an ex that's like a police officer. There's a lot that we've seen before, but I feel like this movie took all those tropes and did a really good job with all of them. So I had a blast watching this.
It's like a hamburger. Like there aren't many hamburgers that you see like or eat. I mean, you could see them also, but like that you haven't had them, right? Like it's like just how well you execute the hamburger. It's not everyone's gonna be a Bob's Burgers where you make unique weird hamburgers every day, but they take those well-known ingredients and they killed it. Ken doesn't like it as much as us, but I think that's okay though, Ken, because can't love everything, man. Everything's not for everyone. I mean,
I'm surprised I liked this so much. I left like there's like the teenagers going, "Man, that was shit," and I was just like, "We did not watch the same movie."
dude, I
I
think
mean, there were great parts in it, like absolutely, especially towards the end. A lot of the tearing of stuff,
Yeah.
but there were certain parts that I was like, what? Like we got so focused on there was this thing of mayonnaise in the fridge in like one of the first fridge episodes or like episodes moments, and then like later on the mayonnaise is gone. And I was like, where the fuck did the mayonnaise go? So I spent the next like every time she was in the kitchen, I was like, where the fuck is that mayonnaise? Like they had to have taken it, like totally not important. But then at one point, like when someone peels their face off, sorry, spoiler, whatever. But when the doctor is peeling his face off when she's imagining it, I was like, man, I really want spam. When's the last time I've had spam? And I was like, that's not what that's supposed to trigger in your brain. But I mean, it was good. It definitely wasn't what I was hoping for. That scene that you mentioned before with the head, like that definitely was scary. You mentioned the
wish
teenagers
almost-
talking about that it was crap.
I wish we didn't see that
women
in the trailer.
bathroom.
Like,
Yeah.
because
Dude,
that was such
the-
a like high impact part, but I guess that really made me want to see it.
I have to tell you
Yeah.
too, these two fucking women who had to have been in their late 60s strolled up into this fucking movie right before it was starting. And these bitches would not shut the fuck up. And I mean, would not shut. I reported their asses to the Alamo because I was at the Alamo where they showed, and I knew it was going to be a problem because as soon as the shut up, don't talk thing played at Alamo, like they always play, these bitches were like, and I sound like a Murloc from
I don't understand. Like
And-
it was very obnoxious, and they came in late too, and were like on their phones answering calls, like letting the ringer go. It was like super obnoxious.
These women left with about a half an hour left in the film too. Like so they were cunts and then left. And I'm like, what the fuck were you? I saw him like, what are you two old bags doing in this? Like, it wasn't like they were like, they were like, their kids had dropped them off at the movie theater and like didn't tell them what they were like, okay, this movie's playing, go see that. And these women were like, that, and I've never seen this movie must have fucked with the people in my theater because like people were up and down and up and down and up and down, like going into the bathroom every 7 seconds.
It's uncomfortable. It is a very like they do make you feel edge of your seat uncomfortable. Like the jump scares are well crafted. Like they set your expectation up and show you what to expect of like, the audio like little thing. And then you're leaning in to be like, oh wait, I didn't hear it that time. Oh fuck, like shit. Fuck you.
I said it before, like the fucking audio, like just the score in this film is just, it doesn't sound like earthly. It's like very like when they do, they do sound effects and the scores and shit of like I bet you they use those inaudible frequencies that make people feel uncomfortable because the score of this film was just like I was like my skin was crawling the whole time from specifically the music. I'm like, because it's like, what is this? It doesn't like seem like you're like, what the fuck? Like, where are we? Kind of stuff,
It did a really good job too with the audio, like bouncing it.
Yeah.
I noticed really, really well.
How did you notice the main? See, whenever I notice shit like that definitely takes me out of the movie. And I'm glad I didn't because like this is a weird journey movie and there's a lot of like fun stuff that happens. But
I told Kim because
something like that's
I messaged Kim after I saw it and I was like, this is like, because it's very heavily into the like the mental health shit part of it, right? Because the main character is a psychiatrist and it like they, especially when she starts losing her shit like through the middle of the movie, everyone thinks she's fucking bonkers, right? And it's like how people treat people they consider mentally unill or whatnot. And it got like intense in that fact, and I was just like, that's what I was like, just warned, like, because I never want anybody to go to a movie and be like, what the fuck, like, what did I watch specifically? And it's, I know, like, when we had talked about Pearl, like that kind of stuff with mental health in that film too. It's like you're like it could be intense for you, like with your own like issues you've struggled with and stuff, and you're like, but like I don't know, man. It's that weird world of like how you take that paranormal force and use it as the explanation kind of in this film, and you don't really like, you never figure out what it truly is or whatever, anything like
I loved
right?
the tie-in to the It Follows type vibe though. Where you don't know who it's gonna be, and it like that's where it like really plays off of the mental health shit. Like, cause she like especially that scene where she's let the therapist in, sit down, talk. Are you gonna get that? And like that was just like, oh fuck! Like you don't know, you can't trust what they're showing you. You can't trust anything, but then you feel more like you're in her shoes in that particular moment. It's like you can't trust yourself, like because you're her right now. It's like, oh my god, this is fucking with me now. Oh shit.
I think that line might have been a little too close from It Follows to be completely
yeah.
It sounded very much like the boyfriend, right? Like or not the boyfriend, the fuck buddy.
It makes me want to watch It Follows again, which I'm probably going.
Speaking of the boyfriends and whatnot, in that movie, they're engaged, like the engagement, them being engaged, A-Train and her. Thank you for reminding me. It was so painful. And like the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could never be with someone that I could not talk to. Yeah. How are you with someone that you legitimately cannot talk to?
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, this is, I don't like this.
And then they play off that because nothing happens to A-Train. and then like the detective, obviously in the finale, is just like, no, and I should say we're probably spoiling the shit out of this because this film is like like
I think we are, to be honest.
Yeah.
We dove right in. We don't
That was my
normally even
bad.
we don't
No.
no.
my
Like
bad.
we don't even normally start talking about the movie until 20 minutes into the show. We're only like 15 minutes. We're already in
Yeah.
spoiler territory. Wait.
yeah,
Let's do this for a sec. We're all super ADHD. Let's go like this for a sec. The drawer is open. Hey, who watched Hocus Pocus 2 as well? Because we're spoiled right now with a bunch of spooky time movies. And yeah, let's talk about that for a second, and then we'll come back.
so I enjoyed it. The wife and I watched it on Friday night. I think that it was a weird combination of like Disney Channel feeling, but with higher production values, right? Like it had the special effects and the production values were really good. The story was pretty simple and very like
I think
reminiscent.
that's why
of
it
the first
worked.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like what I said, the Disneyified, like this is like a PG meant to be like living in that realm. But with that being said, I felt like because they were doing those callbacks, some of the scares and some of the things that the characters were allowed to say actually caught me off guard because I thought they were getting a lot more squeaky clean, and they actually did stuff that would be like, oh, that would actually like scare a kid, and I enjoyed the fact that they are actually willing to do like horror type stuff, even though it's fucking Disney, right? So
Yeah, they had. I mean, they used the headless guy to great like, functionality.
he's such a
right?
good
Like,
character, though. I love that he made a comeback, and yeah,
Billy.
I was just trying to go. How the fuck are you talking to your body when you're ahead?
Yeah.
Your ears
listen to
are-
me, you dumbass. I was like, that body doesn't have ears. What is he listening through his butt? Like,
I really appreciated where they had the kid who was like, "What's a virgin?" They say. It was so cute.
And it just reminds me of the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Jake and Amy watch the Terry's kids, and they ask him what an orgasm is, and then they said it's another way for orange, a word for orange juice or whatever, and so they were asking Terry Crews for orgasm juice in the morning.
oh no.
It's
I also
Yeah,
like
it's-
when they call out like they're like self-aware in that movie as well. Like when they first like show up and they break into like song and dance and they're like, who the hell are they performing for? And then they turn it into
Yeah, I
a
liked
jump
that.
scare. Like that was
Yeah.
really cool. I liked that they did that, and like I feel like that was more like updated because they wouldn't have done like fourth wall break shit like that.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, you kind of have to do that when you have like a 30-year gap between the films, right? You have a 30-year or 29-year gap. But like Bette Midler, and they all look significantly older. Bette Midler looks way older.
They all
Looks
look
good.
great though. They all look
Yeah.
great.
I think the chunky witch looked like she had
Mary.
lost a lot of weight. Yeah, she
Yeah.
had lost a lot of weight, and her head still looked like a cornucopia, but
I don't know.
And fun story, if you look in Hocus Pocus 1, she talks out of one side of her mouth, and Hocus Pocus 2, she talks out of the other side of her mouth.
I don't remember her talking so much and making that face. Like I felt like she was a parody of herself in this one. Like it was turned up too high. Like it might have been like
yeah.
a little bit of a trope of her character in the first one, whereas that's all she did in this one, which I don't believe she needed to like act that much into that
Mhm.
character or whatever.
they didn't write much outside of for Bette Midler. Like everything was Bette Midler, and then like the
Totally.
other two were like all like even more than the original, just like croutons and bacon bits. That's what they were. Like
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker had like 5 lines. I think it was not very many. She just did her like, like she does the whole time. Yeah. So
Yeah, but they probably got a good paycheck to come back. So
they
Oh
did-
yeah, I'm sure.
and they did a good job. And the main
And people love it.
yeah, there was lots of positive reviews. The little girl reminds me of Valkyrie from the Thor movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I felt like the new characters they introduced and the story was very reminiscent of like a Goosebumps episode or Are You Afraid
Yeah.
of the Dark or something,
Yeah.
which was more nostalgic for me anyways in a different way. And the fact that
Yeah.
the Halloween town was just done so well, that just gets me into like the spooky season. And then I spent the weekend after that putting up my haunt, which I showed you in Discord, and it's like it's got me into the mood for like October to be a really good, fun, like spooky season.
we already watched Halloween Town one. I think we were
Oh,
on number
really?
3. Yeah, my wife loves those movies, so we watched them like Saturday or Sunday. We watched them sometime, and those movies are kind of becoming like a tradition, annual tradition for us. And so we haven't even gone hardcore into anything yet, but it's been like Disney Channel.
Man,
horror
to like
most of the time.
to start meeting new people and then find out they don't like not even appreciate horror. They don't like it at all. It just like it weirds me out. Like people are just weird that don't like horror. I think they probably think the exact same thing about me, not being as much into horror. But when you're part of a community that is this, like they don't get it. And if you're on the inside and you've seen the movies and know the people on the inside, there's they're the best. Like we're so passionate.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah, I mean it's my wife likes horror. She likes a lot of it. Like she doesn't like she didn't go see Barbarian with me because she thought it was the weird thing, as I told the story about. But um
Want
but
to see it so bad.
it's really
Go.
it's funny. What I was gonna say, I won't say because Kin's here because she hasn't seen Barbarian. There is
Yeah.
something in Barbarian that remind me of something in this movie, but yeah. So
Yeah,
there's
the
been a lot
barbarian.
and
You can spoil it. It's
No,
okay.
no. No, we
No.
don't. We don't do that.
no, that especially with that movie. That movie
Yeah,
is like
the whole
different things.
reason it works so well is because the trailer is what it is and the movie is what it is. So to do that to someone and
Nah, yeah,
no, like that's
exactly.
why we loved it so
Oh.
much is because of the doing it that way. Seeing the
I-
trailer, having that, and then going and seeing that. Yeah, so
I had
cool.
to tell you because this reminded me as we were talking about that. Jerry, good buddy of the show, he had someone tweet the entire synopsis of Halloween Ends to him on Saturday, and
Why?
they tagged him specifically because he's the Halloween guy, like literally the Halloween guy, like that's what he's known on like Twitter and shit, and ruined the entire fucking movie for him on Saturday morning, and he was like heartbroken. And I was like, I hate people with every ounce.
Why would they do
of
that?
being-
They're mean.
Did they get a sneak peek? I assume.
Yeah, they've been doing not trailers. They've been doing screenings and shit. Like, I don't think the like reviews are out yet, but they've been doing screenings and yeah. So
The embargo has not been lifted yet. The whole
Did-
synopsis is on Twitter.
yeah, I mean every beat, and Jerry was like goes along with the score and the trailers and all this stuff, and he was a very bummed out boy, and I was like, poor Jerry. I felt bad.
People go into Twitch chats and they have spoilers for
Yeah.
usernames and they follow. And it was really funny because somebody was doing it one day and they came in and like spoiled some random game that I had no interest in. And I was like, oh, that must be the ending of that. I don't give a shit. But you can stick around if you want, I guess. And they spoke in chat and then they left. And I was like, all right, whatever. Okay.
That's like, it would just remind me of some motherfucker came into my chat one day. It was like, can I ask a question? I was like, yeah, you can ask a question. And when it's stupid or racist, you're getting fucking banned. And then they never ask the question. I was like, because that's one of those things you're like, yeah. I remember like that Stray Cat game came out and people were like ruining people.
Oh,
game
yeah.
for people. And that
Spoiling
happened.
the cat game.
I don't understand like I guess, like we're putting like at one point I was a streamer as well, and the amount of like when I was first doing Fortnite, the amount of like weird random trolls and people trying to like make you say the wrong thing or like, they just come in to mess with you. I'm like, what is this? Like what type of person are you? Like I don't understand like what you're even trying to get out of it. Like what do you get out of this? Like it's not
It's a 13-year-old that is mad that girls don't want to kiss them. Is really it's sexually frustrated teenage boys is what you're really looking forward to. I
okay.
think.
Well, okay, that explains it.
I can't come. Must ruin the world for everyone.
Just send nudes,
Can you please,
Rod. There you go.
gift that, turn that into an alert. I don't know.
We could do it. There'll be video afterwards.
Speaking
Oh,
of
wait.
which, go check out the podcast YouTube.
Yep. Yes. Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
It's getting lots of people. and-
Wait, did you change your camera view to like a more cam girl view? It's like pointed down at you now.
I was adjusting it over like last week because
It's
of
fucking
Gizmo.
sexy. I gotta say, it
know.
looks great. Oh my god. Now
I'm
I
getting used
just
to
wait. I got to do it too. Oh,
I-
I
But I gotta fix mine. Shoot.
You're gonna be like,
We have to get way into them.
Whoa.
we lost our goddamn minds. Lost our
It's
That you
80
can find
I-
on the YouTube
I
channel, so go
told-
follow it.
I told you this is ADHD time. Oh fuck, dude, you got it. You got it going on. Look at that. That's way. Oh hey, it's like mine's on like this weird little like arm clampy thing from the dollar store, and it lets you put it anywhere. But it's like,
So I asked KPP before when I was ordering everything how she supported a camera, and she used the Elgato thing, which is way overpriced, but it keeps it like
oh, it's just an arm with
very
a
steady. It's
quarter
like an
20 on it.
arm and then like a little like a gadget on the top that you can move around to.
What
use
is it
the
like a
camera.
friction arm?
It's just like a little like a thing with a bunch of like access rotation, so you could like move it forward, backward, side and shit. That's
This
all
was
it
a-
is.
This was $2.
This was not $2. I think I paid $100 close to for the two pieces. So, yeah, I was like,
I used the clip on my camera.
I mean, that's my.
I have a
my-
whole bunch of stuff for like filmmaking that, yeah, like friction arms are the same thing.
Yeah. I was just like, I might as well not fuck around with it, and here we are, So I
And
just
it
knew.
looks
I love it.
great.
You look fucking oh fuck, dude, what are
I-
you doing? What are you doing to me? Jesus. Oh hey.
It's funny because the other content I'm making, I'm using an older Nikon camera instead, but that still works out well. So because I just didn't want to pull this one off and on constantly, and like,
What are you talking
You
about?
know.
You want to pull off and on all the time when you're doing nudes.
I'm not doing the completely sexual things, Josh.
I don't know.
I know you don't know, and I'm informing you. I'm just the classy dong shots, Josh. Come on.
Well, you better get a clown costume for one of them.
Oh no. God damn it, Josh. God damn it, Josh.
Can you please do a puppet show with your penis?
I mean,
Tie some fishing string to it and make it dance.
the puppetry of the penis, like just like from the.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Like,
You could even try to, I don't know how well it would work, but you could also do, put your balls in with it too, and then you could have 3 different pieces moving,
I mean, that's
as long as that sound is a thing, like it just gotta be in there like that.
I don't even know if I have the coordination for such things. I'd be like,
Absolutely, you do. I
Are you
believe in
kidding?
you.
Yeah, this is what you were meant to do, Rod.
penis puppetry. I mean, I was put on this earth to make shadow puppets with my cock and balls. Bum, bum, bum. Manhattan. Rah, rah, rah,
What is this show? What is this show?
You could build like what is their name? What is the thing from Alien? The big like loader thing from Alien, and then put like your dick in it, and like
No, I thought it was gonna be fight. My dick was gonna be fighting the power loader. Like it will be
but
fighting.
you could do that too.
Yeah. It'll be like the battle to save all mankind.
You know what's
against
funny?
Coxsaurus.
When you tell someone you have a podcast and then they listen to it, and then there's this. There's this
I mean,
right
it's
there.
like it's like when I tell people what I do, and they're like, "Oh, should we listen?" And I'm like, "No, you
No,
shouldn't, because I'm
no.
gonna be talking about prolapsing anuses." Okay, so like let's not.
Can
Wait.
those people-
What was your URL again?
Twitch.tv/continue.
no, the other
No,
one,
the
your
other one.
site.
Oh, that other one. That would be fanhouse.com slash.
No, your weird
No,
one.
no. My
The
weird.
funny
Oh,
one.
stdhotel.com. We'll
There
get
it
there.
is.
I don't know.
There
There's
it
like a
is.
million of them.
There
We'll
it
do
is.
it honestly, too. I just didn't want to lose track of where we were going with like your STD.
My
what-
stdhotel.com.
That
You
is
should make that your like link tree link. Go to there,
I
and then it's
need
a
to.
hotel of all your links, and then you only give out that link.
Here's all my information, and it's just the.
STD hotel.
I had an incident in 1999, and I mean, no, it could be Kim's younger than me, so like 2006, and I don't want to talk about it, but STL or
STL.
no, I used to work with test
St.
beds
Louis.
called STLs. No, STD.
Bublé.
STD. No, not Michael.
It's not.
Bublé.
It's not yet. You don't take him off ice yet. He doesn't come off on ice until November,
Bublé.
late November.
Bublé. Bublé.
Bublé.
Fuck, man. Fuck. I have the exact same stuff right here. I kid
Oh
you
my
not.
god!
Is that cherry too?
This one is
I am.
raspberry.
I got the cherry. What? I can't believe we're
I-
both drinking Bublé.
And Ken has Gatorade.
Sponsor me.
Was that the pink one?
This one? No, it's the blue one.
Ooh, blue's good.
It's the light blue one that they
I
don't
do
make a lot of
Powerade, though.
anymore. Yeah,
It's more
Powerade.
I don't.
sugary.
I don't like. This one's no sugar.
I like.
It's like
sugar.
I always drink the low calorie monsters. Like people are like, you drink Monster. I'm like, not that much one, but it's like the 10 grams of or 10 calories or whatever one. So yeah, we have really gone off the fucking rails.
Hey!
okay.
Oh, is it time? Is
So-
it time? Okay, I'm gonna close the drawer again.
No,
The ADD drawer.
Before you close it, Coxzilla.
Oh,
That's all.
okay. Okay.
I just want to say Coxzilla again. I mean, fuck. I mean, we hadn't talked about all the stuff that we were going to talk about anyways. So you're right. It's like the 88. I can't talk. Words are hard, and I
Just wait, I want to see.
podcast.
Oh, I was gonna say I want to see your dog,
Aw,
but
sleeping over
post
there,
it.
man.
posters on
Oh,
the outside.
look at. He's like, you noticed
Hey.
me? You noticed? Look at me. I'm
Hey.
cute.
Give me treats. I am Gizmo. I am the little monster dog.
Oh, you said my name. I'm coming over.
Gizmo. He does. I don't want to call him on. Come here then.
He's like, you're not streaming. I don't need to come on. Gizmo! Oh, This-
I love his face so much.
so we're doing this on purpose because we definitely want anyone who's just listening right now to make sure they go over to our YouTube and see how awesome Gizmo. Oh,
oh,
Ham. The little
little
hammiest
beans.
of all hammy hams. Yeah, he's a cutie. Okay, go cause trouble, Gizmo.
I love
For you. Yeah. Obviously named after Gizmo in the in Gremlins, who is the best. So
And both Rod and I have like cam girl like, you know, angles now. So we're really trying here, guys. You got to come over to the YouTube.
So I think that the concept, this movie could have been very easily just completely had the ball dropped on it. Like because the concept could have been like there've been a lot of movies that like have used concepts like relied on a concept that's kind of gimmicky. I remember it was like what was the internet game? It was like the Truth or Dare movie where like
Yeah.
if you fucked up, you would get that goofy smile that
The
was like
Snapchat filter.
yeah, that looked really terrible.
It was just a Snapchat filter. That's it.
Yeah, and the movie wasn't good either, right? So it was just like they were like, all we have is a gimmick, and that's all they needed. They're like, you know,
That was the one that DMCA striked me. The only YouTube video I ever had like full on like not because that was the one they sent me the box, the Truth or Dare game. Then I went
Yeah.
and reviewed their movie the next day and just took a dump, like a big dump on their movie. And then
They
they
DMCA'd you?
full on like took it, like struck it against my channel, like take this shit down. I was like, what the fuck? Like I put in for a review on it and they're like, fuck that, no. And I was like, I didn't use any pictures or trailers. It was just me talking. There was nothing in there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucked, right?
well, because you know why the appeal didn't work. The appeals go to the company that they don't go
I
to
know.
Google.
And they were like, fuck you, man. It was nuts,
That's wild.
right?
I mean, that movie was pretty hot trash. So I don't know why they were like sending out screeners and shit like that. Like, man.
They sent me the
Man.
whole box with like a Truth or Dare game with like a dice game with like little like bugs, like, you know, that
Yeah.
you could eat and shit, and a t-shirt and like a whole bunch of stuff. And then I was just like, thanks for the box. Your movie fucking sucks.
They did that Would You Rather movie too, which actually was like actually worked, which was like Truth or Dare, but like that movie was metal, man. If you've never seen
Which
it,
one?
like they like
Would you
The other-
rather?
yeah, Would You Rather, I think it was called. It was like Truth or Dare, but like people competing for money, and dude, Josh, that ending is so up. It's funny because they have a bunch of comedians in it, like too, like it's like
Oh, yeah, I have seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
That-
and
the ending of that movie is metal as
the
fuck.
fucking razor blade eye bullshit. I hate that.
Yeah, dude, the eye stuff. I do think that the eye stuff in that Christian Bale movie that's coming out where he's got the fake eye and they're like using it for a bunch of gags, like
Oh yeah, that
Amsterdam
porn
or
star
whatever
was
it's
in
called.
it.
Yeah, there's a porn star, and then like
The guy from
like-
My Name is Earl.
yeah, My Name is Earl, and he was on Raising Hope too, which was the like same production company, same group of people. So yeah. But yeah, that movie was pretty good. Like the ending of it was just like it gets put up on like YouTube videos all the time for like most like fucked up endings or most pointless endings in horror movies because like that movie never really mattered because of like the whole setup and like it was fucked up, but
Yep.
Okay, so they took that premise though where we keep saying it, like Josh said, the premise is very very reminiscent of It Follows and The Ring. It's like those two concepts put in one. You see someone kill themselves in front of you, and then you get within 7 days that you end up killing yourself and killing someone.
7 days.
But it's not always even 7 days though. Like they talk about it like it happening, and then the like a bunch of people died in 4 days.
I wonder what the log line was for him to like pitch the movie. He's probably like, The Ring meets It Follows. They're like, have money.
Well, I mean, they didn't. It was another one of these horror movies because Scott Derrickson was tweeting about it, and like they spent like $10 million on this about which was the same kind of budget they put into Black Phone, and then you get like $30 million like opening weekend, and you're just like, you've
They had
made
a
shit.
good campaign for this though. Like that's the difference between like a bigger horror opening and not. Like if you have more of a budget for, or even like doing something, thinking outside the box, doing that stuff that they have only done for honestly like a handful of movies. Like what other movies other than like It, or like have you seen like other weird like out there campaigns that's not just a fucking poster and a trailer. It's like they're out in public, guerrilla style, and like doing stuff to go viral because it it it
I mean,
works.
you think about it, you put those people behind the play at baseball games, you're getting anyone watching the games. So you're getting probably like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And then you're like getting it on like Sports Center and everything like that. So you're getting it out there to a
And
bunch
all
of
the
people.
TikTok clips and all the,
Yeah.
you know, like it's awesome.
Yeah. And it's just getting that name out. And it's just like, I mean, and think about it. That's expensive, but like not for them. Like you get a couple $1,000s to put an actor behind the home plate to make a creepy smile for like a couple, like for 2
Your
or 3
return
hours.
on investment on that
Yeah.
is massive.
Yeah.
It's because people talk about it and they want to go see it, right? And like I was talking about old crazy ladies being at my movie theater, like something attracted those women. How the fuck did they get to the point where they were there and they like, you know?
I gotta say, like, did you get that clip at the beginning of the movie where the director and the lead actress were like, "Thanks for
Yeah.
coming out," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I totally.
I did not get that.
Oh, you didn't? They were just thanking you for coming and like enjoy the theater experience type thing. And I gotta say, like, it would, as much as like, you know, we had some bad experiences in the theater because of some, you know, dickhead people, but overall, seeing it with the whole audience experience was totally it was another character in the movie for me because like
Yeah.
it is so high tension and like the jump scares are so effective that it affected the audience, and it was a packed house. I saw it Saturday at 7 o'clock, so it was like
Yeah.
the full like theater experience. And like
Yeah.
I love like right before a scare or like the setup, people are just like, "Oh fuck that!" Like, "Oh come on!" Like like yelling out loud, and then just like, "Ah!" Like the whole theater doing that was like it was. I think that honestly added to my experience and made me like the movie more overall because I was experiencing it with like you look beside you and people are like, "What the fuck?" Like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!" Like because it's high tension, right? So yeah, good.
That's the kind of horror that like I always talk about my 2 favorite experiences in the theater for horror were like Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity because
Totally.
they pulled in people who weren't like into that shit and were like losing their goddamn mind. Like horror fans will react, right? Like I jump scare like 8 times in most of these movies, but like you're getting people in there who are like have no fucking clue what they're in for, and they're like, ah, you know, like they're like the old ladies behind me, and I'm leaving
It's
half
a
an hour
roller
early because-
coaster. Woo!
Yeah. But I mean, they did it's that clever shit, man. And like that trailer, that first trailer, I don't think I don't remember the last time I've had people send me a trailer so many times. Like I had people who just know I like horror were sending me this trailer. Like I had 5 or 6 people send me that trailer because they knew I do this podcast and I talk about horror all the time. And like, they're like, "Oh, right, you guys see this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen the trailer." And it's just like, it's just effective marketing for something that like you're not spending all that much money to do. And then also, I love Kyle Gallner. I want to say right off, like Kyle Gallner is fucking dope in this film, and he was like, the kid is versatile, like as an actor, because he was the first kill in Scream 5. He was like the guy who got stabbed outside the bar, like
Oh,
pretty
right. Yeah.
movie.
Totally.
The douchey boyfriend or the motorcycle guy
Totally.
or whatever he was.
I forgot. Yeah, he was a douchebag in that, but like, yeah, I like that.
He had
You know,
that,
like,
that neck stab that was brutal shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like we said, this is something not too far off of like what we've seen in the past, but because you've taken a concept that has already worked and another concept that has already worked, mix them together, and like the fact that uh the cinematography is so well done with that like ultra wide angle lens and the shallow depth of field on her face. Like when
Yeah.
that happy birthday was the best. Like they're singing happy birthday and then it just goes happy birthday and like I was like, "Oh my fucking god." Like this is so like I feel gross and the whole audience is just like, "Oh no." Like and it just slowly zooms in. I was like, "This is making you feel how they want you to feel right now. Like you're feeling like this character and that's so effective."
I really want to know if they did that, like that low frequency noise that you couldn't hear that just made you unset. Like, because the score was fucking like, it was. I told Jerry, I text Jerry right after the film. I was like, the score in this film is insane. Like, it's insane because of how like unearthly it makes you feel. Like, Ken, did you like the score? I mean, did you feel like uneasy or like how they were trying to make you feel for the film? Was it hitting you like it was? It sounds like it was hitting me and Josh.
I don't think it hit me as much as it did. Like, for instance, when we did Pearl, like it hit way different. Like the score
Yeah.
felt like really different. Like I get what you guys are saying, but I'm also partially deaf in one ear, so a lot of those frequencies don't hit me the same way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, like that birthday scene, that whole sound was very like unnerving and like, but like in like a creepy way, not in a bad way.
Yeah. They guy doing the score, I don't know if I could find the person who did it. Like it was they were using these not usual sounds, right? They were using these things that you're just like, what the fuck are these sounds? Where are they coming from? Like how are they like why am I feeling like this because of it?
Well, even like that whole when it kind of like at the end of the movie when it like goes in and you kind of see what it is, it reminded me of that what the fuck is that movie? Like the monster thing kind of well, it definitely like when it was bigger and everything was like, oh
yeah,
well, they're full
yeah,
on Jack and It Follows now. Like it's
yeah.
just like that was like the creepy character from It
Yeah, the
Follows was
hallway scene.
yeah.
Yeah, the hallway scene. Yeah, that's what that reminded me of. Also, I think a lot of it, like, it felt like the director had been kind of inspired by like Ari Aster. It seemed like a little bit. I don't know, like it seemed like they were trying to make things very cinema, like the like cinematography and shit, like seemed like very inspired by Ari Aster or something. I don't know what it was. Like, I think maybe it's the wide angle that you're talking about, Josh. The wide angle. What do you got? Your pinhead. That movie comes out next week.
I've seen some
The
fucking rad posters for that movie, so I'm glad we're gonna be doing it so I can like throw my hat in the ring.
Yeah, we have to do Werewolf by Night too, because that's coming out too. But
There's so
the
like I do not remember the last year that we were this spoiled with
yeah,
like it's not even just like, oh shit, we got a bunch of horror movies coming out. It's like we got a bunch of fucking bangers coming out as well. Like
yeah.
they're not they're all been fucking fun and rad and wow.
I'm used to like most years it feeling like two or three come out, and if you're
Yeah.
lucky, one's really good, right? Like you get one or two really good ones, and I think it's probably because a lot of these horror movies it was easier to work on them during COVID, to
COVID,
be
yeah.
honest. Like, because you don't need these giant fucking crews. You don't need these giant like locations. You don't need like 2,000 extras. You're doing these kind of smaller scale things. And it's just like, I mean, this film's problem was like you're in the hospital, right? It's like you're running around in a hospital where there's tons of people and stuff like that. But like, I probably was still like wasn't as big of a deal like shooting because of all this stuff, right? And they came out last year. I mean, Barbarian was a real like kind of tiny thing and everything. Pearl and X were both shot like by themselves, like
Like
on this
this.
like farm mostly. Yeah, exactly. It's like with Psycho Gorman running around. Um, so yeah, I mean And dude, we still have like Hellraisers coming out, which the reviews have been awesome. And we got fucking Halloween Ends. Like so, and Terrifier 2. People are going off about Terrifier 2.
I really want to put that on the list, like to do because I haven't seen the first one either. So like I would want to do that. So
Yeah.
double feature?
Yeah. Maybe.
M. Night Shyamalan has that new movie coming out too.
Is that this
which
year?
I don't
The
I don't know
Cabin.
if it's this year or not. The Knock at the Cabin.
I hope
Yeah.
that's good because Batista's in it. And Batista looking pretty like gangster with like head tattoos and shit like that, right? So I hope that's
like-
good, man. There's a
That's just
lot.
a normal Tuesday for him.
I don't think he has got head tattoos.
He
Not
could.
normally. Man, I have to say, that fucking little kid in this movie, the nephew, he did a pretty good job playing traumatized. Like
Totally.
Yeah.
also,
Well, that whole
What?
scene was like pretty fucked.
what are you laughing about, Ken?
Just that whole scene was great because I was sitting there and I was watching it and I was like, are we spoiling this? Am I allowed to say this?
We're
Spoiler.
53 minutes in. This is full
Okay.
on. Just wait.
So
There's the spoiler sound.
so I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm like, cat's in the fucking box, man. And then like they get to the party and he goes to open it and I'm like, cat's in the fucking box. And then he opens it and he's just staring at it and I'm like, cause the cat's in the box. That or he doesn't like that style of train, but I think the cat's in the box.
Why
I
didn't
ca-
you get me the red train? Jesus.
I
What
like
is this
that.
yellow shit?
Where did that train end up? Is the next question. Like,
Up the cat's butt. Like, come on.
oh man, I think one of the when you were talking about early in this film, like after she sees her patient commit suicide, they have a lot of like, I'm wondering how many like things were in the backgrounds of these shots that like either we missed watching in the theater, like because I caught some of them, like
I didn't see
That-
mayonnaise.
See,
not the mayonnaise, not the mayonnaise.
important stuff.
Yeah, the important stuff like the mayonnaise. I know.
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, yeah, this is a lot of like stuff in the background because they were fucking with. I mean, there goes Josh again, trying to make it uneasy the whole time, right? And so there's like, I wonder how much, especially early on, that stuff is like that. Like going back and watching this again, you'll pick up that you like, because it's always like that. Like think of Hereditary, and like the mom sitting up in the corner of the ceiling, like for
Oh
like
my
how
god.
long it's
So
that.
good.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that like when I watched it, I was like, I don't think I really need to watch it again. And then when I did watch it again, but also the timing of me getting the screeners, I've said this before, like it was the day after my grandma's funeral, and it's a movie about bad grandmas, and I was like, what the fuck? Why does it have to be about grandmas? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but like to see that stuff, and I missed so fucking much
That-
the
and
first
plot-
time. Like
The
this,
plot the first time you're like you were so lost the first time watching
but
Hereditary.
no,
You're like,
even just like weird, like ghosty things in the
Yeah.
background and stuff. Like there's so many times when it happens that the first time I watched it, I was like, I didn't see any of this fucking shit. Like that's awesome. I love that.
I always say though, like my wife and I always talk about it. Like we were both sitting there, and I specifically was like this.
But that
Minutes after-
last scene, oh,
No, after the girl's head gets knocked off.
oh,
the
yeah, oh
telephone.
my god.
That was
I-
wild.
I've never had like a jaw drop
Yeah.
and stay there as long
Yeah.
as when I saw that movie. I was just like, because it stays on his face the entire time,
Mhm.
and it was so fucking effective because, like,
Yeah.
it made it 10 times worse to just hear her. Like the fact that she didn't get nominated and win that year is fucked. So
Yeah.
fucked.
That's why I was kind of comparing it to an Ari Aster movie. Like they were trying to use like Ari Aster kind of like techniques. It seemed to like a little bit like that.
Totally.
You're talking about the birthday party, like when, like they do that weird shot where they're just like focusing on her. It actually kind of reminded me of Pearl. Now that I talk about it, like where they're just focused on her while she's losing her fucking mind, and you
Yes.
just you see like the backs of people, but like you don't really see people. And it's like after they just found this cat and all this crazy shit, and you're like,
But the girl in the
also,
corner smiling, like
yeah,
it works. Like that
yeah,
because the premise is what it is, but like because it is just that too, it's it's so easy to just like continue to do as well. Continue.
Continue. Speaking of continue, my like biggest takeaway from this is watching it made me so sad for people that need mental health
yeah,
help.
yeah,
And watching it
Yes.
broke my heart because when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, if that was me and nobody believed me, where would I go? And like when her fiance is a piece of shit, like her therapist is whatever, and she's got nowhere to go and she turns to Joel, and like even then you're like, well, I mean, if he backs out, where is she going? That's like one of my biggest fears. And just seeing the pain, and like I wanted to be, and that was very moving in the film because I wanted to be like, you guys have to listen to her, just help her, even if it means just sedating her for a day or two. Like, get this woman some help of some kind. Like, this is ridiculous.
Because
I
they're gonna
felt really
they
bad.
might pull a Hereditary on us, and they
yeah.
might
Well,
indeed.
well, they have the whole. I mean, what's his name? Cal Penn is her boss in the film, right? And he says, "Did you admit this woman or whatever?" And and then he's like, "Well, she doesn't have insurance." And he's like, it's like the human mind is second, or this human person is a fucking secondary to like being able to pay this stupid hospital. And it's just like, God, and that's like Kim. That's why I was like, it gets a little heavy because that stuff is just like, it's not easy for anyone to watch, but like anyone who's had like their own battles of this shit, you're like, oh, and
I
like,
gotta say, I really like seeing Cal Penn back in things again. Like him
yeah,
leaving
Yeah.
for a while. Like I've always liked him, but like he's a fucking good actor too. So like
yeah,
Mhm.
he's got that like for me, it's like a familiar, friendly face because he was like Harold and Kumar, and like I I just love him because I grew up with him type thing. But now like he's a good actor, so I
Mhm.
respect him just in any role now. And I just it's like hey man, high five.
and he does a good job of like that kind of like being a boss, because it's he cares about Rose, but like
I love
I
that it was Rose. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
it was a good name.
and then the Cotter, like I was like, like like what's the old show like, bringing back
Here,
Carter?
here come, or yeah, I used the, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Welcome back, Carter. That's what it is.
yeah.
Is that
Come
it?
back,
Okay.
Carter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and but the mental health aspect of this film is, it's kind of they kind of
Who gave me buttons?
turned, I don't know, man. They kind of turned that into a scary thing themselves, right? And which is fair, especially in America, because of how we treat mental health, right? And so it's, he's sitting there going, we have this woman who was obviously traumatized at or dude, that was one of the most fucked up parts in this whole movie, where
Yeah.
you realize that her mom asked her help,
Yeah.
and
That's
it's
a
like,
good like but that's like a chunk of information that is like heavy, and when
yeah,
you've learned that, it's like oh shit moment, and they had an oh shit moment. Like that's what gave the story enough like girth to like be a better movie.
Earth.
I don't know, like like it there was a lot that we've seen before, but I feel like she fucking killed it. Like I legitimately felt
Yeah.
like her depiction and like everything she put on film of losing your mind was very
Yeah.
fucking like holy shit. Like I just believe that she is going through this. So
Yeah.
kudos to her. But that tidbit of information that the audience learns at that moment is like, oh shit, and
Yeah.
you feel more for the character at that point.
Yeah, she fucking does a really good job, man. And it's like her and like Joel are like the real driving forces behind this film, and the fact that like Joel actually kind of, you wonder if he potentially had like stopped this whole cycle from happening, because we don't know for sure like how everything happens and whatnot. All we figure out is that the guy she found in the prison who broke the cycle by killing someone after he said that he had found out about a similar cycle in Brazil a few years back. And you go, that was a good, my idea. I always thought that I was like, oh, she could go out and kill herself and like by herself, not by anyone. I thought that was like my idea for like a good half of the film, because I was like, well, at least you're not like affecting anyone at that point, right? You're killing whatever this fucking crazy entity is.
But it seems like it would just like, I don't know, because they say it like
Well,
it went
take
away
her
for a bit.
Yeah.
like the whole thing, I think with Joel is that it transferred to him because he watched. I think if he would have just, and he knew, which was the part that irritated me, because I was
Yeah.
like, dude, and like I know you can't look away from things like that, but this is what's going on. She's obviously gone out here for a reason. She's protecting you.
She's
Do not
legitimately
watch
smiling
this.
at you.
You know what's happening. Turn your eyes away.
Well, that and you.
But then you wouldn't get that shot. That's in the fucking trailer. Like, come on, don't put it in the fucking trailer.
I don't remember seeing her setting herself on fire.
I just saw it. It's probably the last trailer, like a newer one. But I'm like, that is legitimately the last shot of the movie in a trailer. What the fuck?
Dude.
Don't do that.
Also, she fucked herself, right? Why didn't she turn her cell phone off? Why didn't she turn her cell phone off? It's like, this guy's a cop. He's like,
we're doing that thing. We're doing that thing, right? Like, we're outside.
I mean, like,
I know.
they were together, so he probably knew about the house.
Yeah.
She just like did a whole bunch of like apologizing to him, and it made his penis feel different again. And he was going to the woods to make his penis feel different again, like that was it.
I think that like that there are so many kind of super intense scenes in this movie, like the scene where she goes in and stabs the like schizophrenic guy like 6 times, and he's just like,
yeah,
the whole time, like doing that scream, like
and then Dr. rips his face off, and I think it's spam. Sorry.
I thought a Psycho Goreman.
I thought a spam. Maybe I was hungry.
Maybe.
It looked like the skull guy in Psycho Goreman to me.
The guy in the head in the jar.
Yeah.
Like just a head. Yeah. By the way, it reminded me now, Josh, my buddy, Dr. Claw, just watched that last night, I think. And he was like, they really played up the Power Rangers thing. I'm like,
totally.
it's kind of like that whole like style of film making there.
It's so good. But if you're going to do that style, lean into it and do it as well as they did, right? Like they weren't holding back, and they did such a good job with all the characters.
Psycho Goreman for life. Hunky boys.
I still got to get that tattoo. I'm going to see if my tattoo artist will do it.
Nice. It's one of those things though, like about these movies that is always like, you could do more movies or sequels or whatever. And I was wondering at that ending, besides just being like, this movie never felt like it was going to have a happy ending. But I wonder if there was like a sequel, like bait thing there with, I mean, you could do the whole sequel with Kyle, Joel now. But I mean, you have a premise, you have all the thing. Like, I don't know if you need to, I don't think you need to, but you could, like, and I bet people will go see it. But like, you've lost a lot of the like shock and awe, probably, like, unless you significantly like pick it up. You could probably make it even more fucked up. Like, what if you broadcast it on the internet like that?
The way this story works, because we're learning as an audience the rules along with the main character, and if we already know it, then it's just like The Ring 2, which was meh.
Yeah. But if this movie makes enough money and it did pretty well this weekend, they might do it again, you know. Yeah.
Everyone smiles.
Dude, all the have you ever just tried to make a really creepy smile? I know, Josh, you've been doing it all stream, but like it's not super easy. So it's like when you see someone really, really nail it, you're just like, man, they fucking nailed it.
I'm just like all gums. That's all I got going on. It's just gums. Yeah, see, that's creepy.
dude,
It's my eyebrow though. Like I have the low brow, so if I do that, then it makes
Do the
anything
creep.
creepy. Yeah.
dude, Caitlin Stacy, I think is how you say her name, who played Laura Weaver, was the first suicide in the movie.
She was
She-
great.
She was
Does
fabulous.
that incredible look, and she kept coming back like and fucking with her because like obviously she was the suicide to start off everything, man. But
I wanted her to be in it more because she was fantastic.
yeah, she was, dude. You know, the other, I mean, one of the shots that really stood out to me was when it was her psychiatrist, and she's like walking at her and just like walking up the couch.
Yes.
And that shot was just like
That
horrifying.
was crazy.
Yeah,
Because like I expected the couch to flip and it didn't flip, and I was like, oh, okay.
you're like this old lady is like doing gymnastics over here that are like, you know, just like walking kill, and it's just like, damn. They did like, again, this movie is like, I kept telling people it was dope because it was like what it accomplished and how it accomplished it, but like Josh and I said, like it's not the most original thing, but they do a really good job with it. Like they use the material, they do like they have good acting, they have good jump scares, they have like, I had some weird jump scare in this one where I was like, just like, ah! Like that's something that jump scared me. And my wife looks over at me like, why am I married to this man and he's embarrassing me in public? Like, and I'm like,
I love it.
yeah. So,
And then she teabagged you.
dude, she missed the two really bad jump scares in Barbarian that just like, because I went to that by myself. I was like,
Oh, that movie is anxiety too. Like
yeah.
because it's claustrophobic and it's like forces you to first person view a lot of the scares, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck.
And it fucking uses darkness better than most horror movies,
Yeah,
which is, you
really
know,
cool.
that kind of thing. So, man, that like, Ken, what was your like? You probably expectations probably had something to do with it. What were like the parts that did disappoint you a little bit?
Like I wasn't real sorry. I was like,
I love the timing
yawning.
on
Please.
that.
Sorry,
Just
I'm
wait.
so sorry.
Straight yawn. We'll go straight to.
Sorry. No, like I felt that a lot of it was like super predictable, and I think that just happens sometimes. I did really like a lot of different elements of it, but I think going into it, even I was like, this might be a little too predictable for me. But
Yeah. And that's like, you don't want to call everything. You don't want to predict everything coming. Like that's, we talked about like, we didn't watch it, but we talked about Spiral and
oh god,
how you called that. I mean, everybody, it wasn't one of the most obvious fucking things in a horror movie I've ever seen. We're like,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
honestly, in the last like decade, I don't think I've seen a movie that I predicted like after the first minute of the movie. I was like,
Yeah,
it's
it
that
was-
guy.
real fucking easy. You're like,
Because he walked past and went like this. I was like, what? Do you just want us to know? Like, what was that? You're the fucking killer. Shut up.
that movie was so disappointing, man. Like,
movie
it
was
was it was fucking Saw without calling it Saw. It was the same fucking movie over. And I love the original Saw. Is still one of my favorite horror movies ever, just because of the that ending, man. That ending is so
'Cause
fucking cool.
and
Yeah,
even
but
the
you can't-
premise because it set something for like
But, like,
everyone.
Yeah.
But that's where like that's a difference between James Wan and M. Night Shyamalan. James Wan came out of the gate and had a shtick, but he didn't stick to it and do nothing but that because it was successful. Whereas M. Night Shyamalan's like, I have a shtick. Where's my shtick? I need to find my shtick for this next movie. Like, fuck. This next
But-
movie better not have a fucking shtick, buddy.
He made the last Airbender, so which
We don't talk about that.
I've never seen it, but
It's
I-
so
I-
bad, dude. It is so
I,
bad.
I've heard if you like the cartoon, it's like the bigger kick in the
There's a-
balls.
But no, there's like, because like, I don't know. I love watching the Corridor Crew and stuff, and like, learning about special effects. And I've used After Effects and stuff, and just for
Yeah.
fun and to add a little atmosphere or whatever. But with care and like love and attention to even what I'm doing. This is a big budget movie with like air effects that are just like have no effect on any of the characters or any of the surroundings. Or I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is so bad. Ugh.
I love you,
It's
Josh.
airbender. Why is the air not bending? Like, come on.
Oh man. You know who else so sucked in this movie? And a side note, because I'm looking at the cast real quick. Her sister fucking sucks.
Oh
Her
my
sister-
Oh
god.
my god. Yeah, there's a lot of like fuck you characters in this for sure.
Yeah. It's like the moment this woman becomes an inconvenience, like they're like, instead of like trying to get her help, they're like, you put a dead cat in a box. Yeah. It's like maybe that means your sister needs more help, like you were talking about, Katie. It's like,
I love them at the first like dinner scene though, where she's just like, "Can you guys just shut the fuck up?" I'm like, "Yes, oh, so good."
Well, and that's the thing, like the whole movie, everybody like she does the thing. She does what I do a lot, and I mean maybe I'm sure they did it on purpose, and I'm not, whatever, but like she would get upset and immediately apologize twice every
Right.
time. And I was like, you are allowed to show these feelings, and that's what made me so angry with her
Yeah.
with her significant other, because I was like, this dude, like he can't even handle her,
Hangnail.
like, yeah. But I did like when she dropped the second glass, and he's like, did you break another glass?
That was funny.
she
Maybe
is-
that's why they have the mayonnaise gone. They had to empty out the bottle and use it for glassware.
she needed to drink her wine. I did laugh when she went to refill up her wine and she puts like
This much, and it does like a shot.
wine shot, 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 shot,
Dude,
shot.
Can we just talk about Rod's shirt right now? It is great.
Yeah, I just noticed it. It's glorious.
That's
I
so
got it at
good.
Universal last year. I got.
That's
Don't
so
even say. We
cool.
will not say what Rod is wearing because you have to go to YouTube, search Murder Moose. No, just go to murdermoose.com, go through to the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and then there you go.
and then fart. But yeah, that made me giggle too. Like her like complete lack of. They had that fucking. They the first time they used the whole like fuck with her like bit in the movie is like when the security company called and they're like they did the like when a stranger calls kind of thing like what. That was fucking good though. They tell her to look behind her,
Mhm.
Oh.
and then she never does.
Oh,
She never does. She's just like, and you're
That
like
was
tense
the-
the whole time.
that was the scene in the theater when the like so many people in the theater were like, "Oh, fuck that, fuck that."
I have a question about that scene. When the alarm goes off and she's wrapping the train, did you guys see something in that door that was open behind her?
Yeah,
Okay.
the suicide patient. That's what I was talking about. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in background shots, especially like
Yes.
when she's first losing her shit. You're seeing
Yeah.
there's shit that like they either make you think is back there or like it's
They
so
fake you out,
like
but then they also
Yeah.
do the hereditary thing too, where it's like
Yeah.
she's in the shadows, just standing there.
That-
So
that and
effective,
the-
though.
the mother's suicide at the beginning. It like reminded me of the beginning of Midsummer, right? Look at the
Yeah.
which is still one of the most fucked up openings in all of horror that I've like that like seeing her sister with like the fucking air hose like fucking plugged to her mouth like it's just like you're like
Yeah, that's what
She-
Ari does best
yeah
is
Dude, I saw
show
someone-
stuff.
I saw someone that turned their baby and they turned the carriage into the burning hut, and they then made the baby the dude in the bear suit and the bear like carcass. I'm like, you're fucked up. That's cool, but
It's
that's
so
real
cute.
it's so cute and yet so fucked up. So fucked up. Yeah, dude, they did that. Like, they also did they fucked with you again with this film, like multiple times. Like, they might have used the let's have a vision thing too many times towards the end, because they have the whole like she drives away like with her arm out the window and it's like leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Like, it's just like it was a weird action because it never actually happened. Like what it just seemed weird for the character, right? Who was like losing her goddamn mind the whole film because of everything happening to her. God damn it, Josh. There's a fucking YouTube. You guys have to watch
You
this on YouTube.
know it's coming. If I just, it's last week. It was The Fly. Anytime Rod said it said the word fly, I went like this, like. Oh. I had them
Yeah.
convinced I had a fucking fly in my room.
And I'm looking at the camera, so I don't see him doing it. And KPP is just like laughing because she thinks it's the funniest shit ever.
Because I'm a ridiculous loser. I'm a
No, you're not.
loser, baby.
I did really like the freak out too. The freak out by the guy in the prison, because like he's
Yeah.
Oh, he was so good.
he's like, I felt bad, like he's like, you could know he's like, he killed someone just to make it so that like he wouldn't kill himself, and he's like, this bitch brought this curse back to me.
Get away from me!
I also thought the other thing that I thought about this during this movie, I was like, why didn't anyone ever go like the whole like Ali Larder from Final Destination 2 and get themselves like put in a padded room with like,
That's what when she went to the hospital the one time with the knife and she was like sitting in her car, I was like, this would be the prime time for her to go into the hospital and be like, I need you to restrain me and potentially sedate me for at least a day or two, like something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know,
7
what was
days
the
is-
drug? What was the drug she was trying to get from her therapist?
I think antipsychotics was what it was, because like she was asking because she was seeing shit, so she was like, I need that. It sounded like an antipsychotic, like anti-seeing shit. Like she was trying to not see shit. That although I don't think it would have helped, you know.
Right.
But
yeah.
yeah,
Not with this. That's pretty big possessor.
yeah. It is, man. I do. It is such an interesting world, and then they don't like. You don't really. It seems like a demon, right? Like some kind of demon or something like that. But like,
I
you don't
loved the
fully-
end, man. Like when it does the whole like mouth open thing, and like
That
it
was
gets
really
more
cool.
artistic with it, and like
I wish
I
it
like.
would have done it on the poster though. Like the poster had that, and it was like,
Yeah.
or the poster they had at
One of them.
Alamo at least, where it's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like all, and you're like, because it kind of ruins that cool shot. It really, I didn't notice it beforehand. My wife's like, oh, that was on the poster. I'm like, aw.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. Like, I saw a trailer on YouTube, like play after I saw the movie, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, like what? Why would they do that? And obviously in going and making this poster, I go out and see what else is out there, and I did see that poster as well. And yeah, I agree, man. Like that type of stuff, like especially third act or like last 5 minutes of a movie, shit shouldn't be in any advertising of any sort in my eye.
Well, that, and because you don't see the thing, right? Like until that very end. Like, and it's like, like it's got that giant forehead.
It's a
and kind of-
reveal. Yeah.
yeah. It reminded me of like, because you really tall things can be horrifying. That's why the step on me daddy memes from Resident Evil Village, right? When like the giant tall lady, the lady whatever with her
Lady
big,
D.
yeah, Lady D in her hat and all that shit. And
All the
You're
guys
sitting there going-
wanted her to give them the D.
everyone did, man. That fucking character got everyone. Everyone was like, I'm so horny. I'm so horny. And it was like, yeah, I don't know.
Here, just wait. Do they again? What?
I'm so horny.
There we go.
There you go. There you go. And then everyone's run away. And then everyone's run away to Rod screaming about being horny. Um,
Why do I have that button?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I think I really, I think you, Kenny, sounds like you called it older, before I did. I just knew that the second that phone rang off with Joel on it at like when she had left it in a car, I was like, oh, he's gonna show up and ruin everything, and he did. And it sucks because
I
it's
was
like,
so mad at him too because I was like, dude, you
But they-
fucking know.
But they did
Yeah.
the thing again where you can't trust it, and when that, reveal happened when she was back there and it was just playing tricks on her. That was another moment with the theater that was like it made these moments like the revelation of finding out that it was like a fuck you moment again, and the theater having the commentary to go along with it, like fuck, like it just made those moments better to me because I
Well,
was a part of that.
yeah, it was like The Descent, right? Where
Yeah.
like she gets to the car and then they cut it off in the American version, like when the dead lady showed up in the car with her. But in the real version, she goes like it goes back to her being in the cave before she's about to be eaten by the like really
Right,
pissed
yeah.
off goblins. So I love that movie, by the way. I love that fucking movie.
I worked at a theater when I was like 14 or whatever, and that's when that movie came out. And I watched that in theaters like I think 12 times
Dude,
because it
I
was the only horror movie out at that time. Or no, that and
Dude.
Wrong Turn came out in the same weeks. So I watched both
Man.
those movies over and over again.
You talk about a director who started off fucking with two fucking bangers, man. He Dog Soldiers into Descent. Oh,
That
that's
scene where his legs are all mangled up in Descent is so fucked up. I can't like that. I was like, oh my, the bones. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Wasn't there a bone scene in this movie, or am I thinking of something else? I don't know. No, I'm
It
thinking
was your
of
boner.
I'm thinking of The Fly that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Not with the arm. Well, I think we really hit everything. I mean, is there anything else either one of you guys want to say about
Wait,
this?
you got to shit on this a little more because you said you did. Just take a dump on this movie right now. Do it.
You don't have to say you're sorry afterwards. You don't have to say you're
don't
sorry.
apologize. Just dump it.
I just felt it was predictable, and I didn't like that it was predictable. I felt like some of the characters weren't developed enough, and it felt very cliche in some regards. It was good, but not my favorite.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It has to be your favorite, man. Like we're not gonna ever shit on you for having your opinion. And like what it's like, dude, I ADHD'd harder than I've ever ADHD'd over Mad God. And Josh is like talking about how cool everything is, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because I lost like everything with. Like,
He needed at least one piece of dialogue to keep his attention going on it, and I'm a visual guy, so it like if it's just visual storytelling, which that's all it was, I can do it because that's where I kind of.
That's why I love Quentin Tarantino because he does cool dialogue. Like that's like
I fall asleep.
Do you?
I love Quentin Tarantino movies as well, but like sometimes when it's just so heavy, but like he does a thing where he gets away with it because of like how he chooses to do it. Like the opening scene of Glorious Bastards, where that big monologue scene is happening, it's tension though, like because they choose to like let the audience know that there's people below and he's not supposed to know about it, but you do. So that whole thing, you're like, and you feel a certain way, and it's drawn out, so it gives it more like stakes. So it holds my attention longer. Whereas I don't know.
Man, I think one more thing I want to say: lighting yourself on fire must be one of the worst. I've always thought burning alive would be one of the worst ways possible to die.
But she looked like she was having a blast.
Josh, she was possessed by a giant four-headed 14-foot tall monster demon thing. So yep. Anything else you want to say about it, Josh, before we wrap up?
I had fun.
Good. So Josh, we're gonna have to figure out. I mean, Kidney, if you whatever, we'll talk to you with this. I don't know. Like next week's gonna be awkward horror wise because I
There's
think
too much.
no, not even that. It comes out later in the week, right? Like
Which does?
I think Hellraiser comes out on the 7th, which is like I don't
It's
know
Monday.
the 9th or something like that. It comes out weird like Tuesday night or Wednesday night or something like that.
Well, we don't have to see that until we can lopside it and do it the next week.
Oh no, yeah, I know. So we'll figure out what we're gonna talk about though. I don't know what like unless there's something you have in mind, Josh.
Well, there's that. Oh, what is the thing coming out with Guillermo del Toro's stuff? Is it a movie or is it like a mini series or something?
It's a bunch of shorts, I think.
That's like this
I-
week, isn't it?
I don't know.
Or Terrifier's like out, isn't it? We could fill in the
Uh,
gap
Ter-
with that.
the problem with Terrifier is that it's not going to be in all theaters. I
But
don't know
isn't
how
it
easy.
getting a dual release though, or is it
I don't
only
know.
theaters?
I don't know. Oh, we'll figure it out though. Terrifier 2 sounds good. Have you seen Terrifier, Kin?
Mm.
Okay, it would be an interesting double watch because that first one is hardcore shit, and this one sounds like it's hardcore, even more hardcore. So
Everyone is just like gushing over it though. Like it's like hardcore shit,
Yeah.
but done like it's like I didn't know that I was gonna like it, and then like I left it and was like, God damn it, that was fucking great. And it's like,
Hellraiser. They're saying, I've heard nothing but good things for Hellraiser. Like the Hellraiser have been like awesome reviews. So
nice.
yeah. Okay, we'll figure it out. I think if we could get a hold of Terrifier 2, it'd be a cool thing. So
I'll see what I
And-
can do.
you're always welcome back. You know that. So think that's-
Yeah.
Ken,
Yes.
tell all the lovely people where they could find you.
You can find me on twitch.tv/continue. It's KINTINUE. I'm live every day except for Saturday, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern. You can also find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, but that's official Continue. Everything else is just Continue. Fan House, you can visit continue.com or you can go to stdhotel.com.
That's
I
the
can
one.
never-
That's got to be the
SD
one. Just make it.
That's the
Make it a
one.
thing. Yeah,
I
it's your
need
link
that
tree
crap.
now.
Hotel.com. I've already gone once, but then it goes to
Goes straight to
continue. So it's
Twitch.
like,
Yeah.
No, it
Go-
goes to continue.com, which has my Twitch page embedded, and you can do everything in it.
Oh.
So follow Continue, and she's awesome, and so follow her and enjoy her content because she's dope people, as you guys all know that because she's wonderful. Josh, you want to pimp all your shit?
There's my name, Josh WRB. Just go to .com. I got all my shits. I take all my dumps there. Woo! Like this poster, you can see it there. Stuff. Rod.
All Josh's awesome posters. We have murdermoose.com where all that shit is, which will be all the feed. I got to re-upload our episode with KPP's audio from last week because
I don't understand how many things we had. Oh my god, what the hell is happening? It's time for Murder Moose, apparently. Okay, I pushed the wrong
Dude.
button. I don't know what's going on.
I was frustrated today, and when I got that message, I was like, from you, I was like, God damn, and nothing's going right today.
I re-rendered that episode myself 3 or 4 different times, and then was like, oh, it still went a little wonky. Like I got you and I like lined up, but KPP's stuff towards the end, it comes up like off sync by like half, like 1 frame, but it's enough to give it a tiny little echo. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But then when I went to Spotify and hit listen, I was like, she's saying stuff like I know when she said it because I reacted to what she said, and all of a sudden it was just like we're all talking at the same time now over top of her because her stuff was like not lined up at all. I was like, what is happening this week? It doesn't make sense.
It happens sometimes where one person's audio gets like fucking desynced, and it's just like a nightmare.
Yeah,
And I didn't
so weird.
say it when I was like whatever. So yeah. Okay, yeah. So
We got this.
murdermoose.com. Go to YouTube, type in Murder Moose, like Ken said earlier, and follow us there. Rod_Johnston on Twitter. Rod_Johnston on Twitch. My other stuff is through accounts you could get to. My my OnlyFans is through something you could see on my
STDmotel.com.
That's something that's not. No, don't.
Oh, let me message my web friend and see if that's available.
No, wait, it's clowndick.com.
Clowndick.com. So yes, follow me everywhere.
Why don't you own clowndick.com? Like you should own clowndick.com.
I've never owned a website ever in my day, Josh. Not once.
But this could be your day. What are you talking about? We together own murdermoose.com. So
I know, but I've never gone and claimed one myself, is what I'm saying. So
I have random ones for fun.
Yeah, because you never know. One day somebody might open an STD hotel and be like, "Hey, I'll give you $500,000 for this domain," and I'll be like, "Absolutely."
dude, I had a friend who literally got paid like a couple $1,000s because her Twitter handle was something that like some musician wanted, was her name. And so like the music studio like or company paid her like a
No
couple
way.
grand for the Twitter handle. Yeah,
That's cool. I wonder how much
So-
the ninja guy got.
I don't know.
Because at Ninja was like owned by someone that only had 3 followers or something. And he was like, "Fuck you, I'm not giving it up."
I mean, that's a good one to have grab. So okay, everybody, we love your face. Ken, thank you for coming back.
Thank you
and
for
being-
having me.
You know you're always welcome around these parts. And we will catch you guys next week. So have a good one, everyone. And